Going on? What you? Hey, all work, no pleasure. I ain't here to make friends, big stepper. Hey, bad guy, Heath Ledger. Ready for wherever, I'll be front and center. Don't fly too close to the sun, your body chopped up by propellers. Came in arrogant, but left out in a stretcher. Fuck the comparison, y'all know y'all couldn't replicate it. Chillin' in the desert, I'm good under pressure.
Stick around when we hold it down, look at what we found.
This a marathon, not a sprint, let's go 100 miles.
From the ground, with me to the clouds, never coming down.
That's the crown on me, wear it proud, show 'em what we
People who live in Little Village say streets are packed with trucks, and those trucks are making the air unsafe.
Our campaign is for one to stop semi-trailers traveling down 26th Street.
I don't know about y'all, but I've been trucking for a minute. Any of y'all ever driven a semi-trailer?
Similar to Milwaukee Avenue, and we can see the environmental racism.
It's the same fucking race in both neighborhoods, man.
They say these trailers are leaving behind a trail of diesel, smog, and hazardous materials.
Them damn trailers, boy, putting off all that pollution. What's going on, everybody? What's happening? Welcome back to the bullshit. Boy, we had a rough go here, let me tell you. We had a little bit of an incident, right? Imagine having an incident out here on the road. Time to change up the lifestyle, my friends, and take it from the old 50-year-old dog, man. If you're younger, take care of your shit, brother. Take care of your shit. Because I'll tell you what happened, right? Of course I'm going to tell you what happened. I left the house. I had an inner ear infection or some shit. I wasn't feeling all that great. But what do? We power through it, right? We power through it and we get on down the damn road and we keep the wheels turning and we deliver our loads, baby. So I'm commencing to doing all that, and I'm feeling like shit, all kind of dizzy and weird and kind of fucked up like you do when you're sick, right? And I go for a few days like that, and then I get out here to Montana, and I go to do my last delivery, and I step out the truck to go slide my tandems, and bam, boy, I was done. I was about to fall down. I had to like walk back up holding the side of the trailer and shit to get back up to my truck. Everything was spinning, I was sweating, I was about to pass the fuck out, man. I had to wait there at the dock. They let me sit there because they were closing anyway. Hang out for a couple hours. I had to call Tammy up and tell her where I was at just in case I fucking died. She could send paramedics or somebody out to get me. And then I made it over here to the truck stop, which I was fortunate. The truck stop is only 2.5 miles away. How often does that happen? It was my last stop. And I'm going on a 34, or a reset anyway. So I was able to sit over here, but man, this shit was sketchy as fuck, man. So it made me realize, I was talking to Tammy about it, Tammy Sizzling Trucker, by the way, last week, just about how I don't exercise anymore. I used to always exercise. I had a bicycle, I had a treadmill, I exercised in the truck. You can do a lot of exercises in these trucks. You can even do pull-ups off of that bunk and shit if you let it down. And I don't do any of that anymore. I've just been being lazy as hell. And then the Monsters, man, they gotta go. I got me some zero sugar Coke and shit over here. It sucks. It sucks. But you know, I drink 2 to 3 Monsters every day, and I have for approximately 18 years probably, or something like that. It's been a minute, been a while, you know. So those gotta go. The sugar and shit's way too high in them. There's something wrong with that. That's gumming me up. Then the no exercise, and then throwing the infection, and it pretty much fucked you. And obviously the drinking's all getting cut out and all that, and the partying. And so basically all the fun shit that I used to do and all the cool shit has to go, man. It just got to go, because I can keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, but then when it comes to the point where it affects your health that much, that shit's scary, dude. I was sitting there going like, damn, I might have to go to the hospital. Damn, I might die. Damn, you know, all this shit. I'm 1,600 miles away from home right now. This shit gets your attention, man. So you want to keep your health up, you know. So I'm going to start doing that. I just got done doing laps around the parking lot. I'm going to go do some more. Boring. Boring as fuck. And I still feel weird enough that on my second lap, I thought I better come back to the truck, man. And I've normally been in pretty good shape my whole life, but this trucking shit will fucking get you, man. I tell you, it'll get you pretty hard. It's really hard on your health, man. Oh, and also, if you watch Smart Trucking at all, the YouTube channel Smart Trucking with Dave, I don't know if y'all heard, but he passed on, man. Old boy passed. I hear he passed in the middle of August. I believe they just announced it because I just found out about it, and I don't know. I didn't see nothing on YouTube about it prior to that, so they just announced it. But yeah, he was a good dude. I didn't always see eye to eye with him, and I'm sure he probably wouldn't have liked me. I mean, he might have respected like my professionalism and all that I have in the truck and my trucking skills and all that. But as far as my personality and all my cursing and swearing and my dirty dog bullshit that I do, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have liked that a whole lot. But salute to him. I'm sure he taught a lot of people a lot, and he wasn't really that old, late 60s, I believe, something like that. Just wanted to throw this in there for some of y'all who might not realize how serious this whole trucking gig can be, right? It ain't just about fun and games and out here fucking around. As I've said before in previous videos, I've had 2 friends go to prison, for a couple of years for accidents. And you see this article right here, this fella got sentenced to 5 years for watching, it says using Netflix, right? Because I turn on Netflix myself. If you read the article, he's stating that he wasn't watching it. Maybe he wasn't, right? I turn it on myself, but I have this little thing. What I have to do is I have to flip my phone around backwards in the phone holder because I find myself looking over at it. When you hear shit, you just got to look and see what they're doing, right? But I don't know whether he was watching it or whether he wasn't. I would have to guess he probably was, because how long were you looking away from the fucking road, dude? I can look down for quite a while. You look ahead, everything's clear, type of shit. But anyway. And then on the flip side, this is a good story here on this one. This truck driver was not responsible for anything because, as they say, he was overstrapped and recently inspected. So if you do your shit right, then you don't end up in a whole bunch of trouble generally. But it is the United States, so you can get fucked. And this whole lawsuit shit's gotten way out of hand, right? So we're gonna revisit a few things that we've already talked about because there's been some changes in it, right? So it's fresh on my mind. It makes me angry, right? Make you angry? That whole Wabash deal. So if you're not familiar with it, some people rear-ended a Wabash trailer and got killed, right? And they're talking about the DOT bumper on the back not being strong enough and all that. Alright, that's one thing. But first of all, let's do the facts on it. The people who rear-ended that Wabash trailer were intoxicated. They were above the legal limit and they was drunk, right? And they died. Happens. Well, the DOT bars, first of all, weren't even on there when I first started driving truck. They're only made for like a 25 mile an hour collision or some shit like that. How in the hell are you gonna make anything strong enough to absorb a fucking 60 mile an hour collision? I mean, that's ridiculous. So you got the facts right there. They're made for a 25 or 35 mile an hour collision. They hit it at like 60. So that's fucked, right? They were drunk. That's fucked. But here's the thing. $460 million. Jesus, man. Like, that's a lot of money. And then the trailer that they hit was a 2005. So when that trailer was built, it was up to the standards and the regulations required at that point in time. Now, 20 some years later, the standards have changed a bit. So you're saying that all the Wabash trailers that are out there are illegal now, or what? I mean, I can go buy a 1969 GMC pickup and be riding around in that, and then I get in an accident and I can sue them because the airbags didn't go off. You get what I'm saying? That don't make any fucking sense. And then you got the Werner deal that's still going on, right? You remember that whole deal with Werner? If you're not, I'm gonna enlighten you. So Werner's cruising down the highway. Everything's legal, mechanically, logbook wise, driver wise, 100%. Werner was in the right. A pickup from the opposite direction loses control on the ice, comes across the medium, hits the Werner truck. Now, the Werner driver, even with that impact, still didn't lose control of his vehicle. He safely parked his vehicle on the side of the road, right? It says a lot. It says a lot, don't it? So Werner's getting sued for $100 million. They've lost their appeals like several times now. on that whole deal. The guy driving the pickup didn't have a driver's license. It had been suspended or revoked for a long time, and one child died, which is unfortunate, and another one's permanently fucked for life. That's very unfortunate, but it's an accident. You know what I mean? How the hell are you putting that shit on Warner and it's winning? You know, that's just fucking crazy, dude. Then you go into the Freightliner deal they got going on. There's a bunch of them with Freightliner, but now Freightliner's having this big deal about people falling out of the trucks and suing them. Man, it's just part of like driving the truck. They give all kinds of handles over there. I bash my knee on that one all the time, right? You do that, drivers? Hit your fucking knee on that one. You gotta put 3 points of contact, dude, when you're getting in and out, right? What do they want? Like a flight of steps to come out of the side with hand railings and shit on them? What if a roofer falls off a roof doing this job? Like, you know, like there's dangerous fucking jobs out there. And getting in and out of the truck isn't really one of the biggest dangers of this job here, right? Fucking ridiculous. There's another one going on with Freightliner right now. This driver had an accident. The people, same thing, crossed the lane, or crossed the medium, came at him. He actually avoided like a good driver, head on, and he went off into the trees, right? Props to that driver. Well, when he hit the trees, obviously shit went to hell. So the seat broke loose, he hit his head, broke his neck, now he's paralyzed. Unfortunate, right? But how the fuck are you suing Freightliner because their seat broke? That's the whole lawsuit. I mean, if I crash this truck, I got a pretty good understanding that this is plastic and fucking tin, and it's gonna disintegrate when I crash it. I don't expect to crash this truck and have it all just like in one perfect little piece. I don't expect to crash anything and have it like that. I don't expect to fall over on the fucking cement and not skin up my arms and shit. Damn, I thought I was lazy and needed to get more exercise and shit. People getting lazy as fuck, yo. You got DoorDash, you got Walmart pickup, you got all that shit, right? Now they got this deal, dude. You don't even gotta feel your car, dude. It's kind of like DoorDash. You just call the dude, he comes out, feels it right there at your house or whatever. So probably by the time I post this video, it'll be like last week or something. But what do you guys think about that driver appreciation week, man? That shit like drives me crazy, man. Like it's basically kind of an insult, really. You come back to the yard or whatnot, all the office people, mechanics are all grilling and eating all this food, or you'll see a bunch of leftovers and shit and be like, oh, these motherfuckers had like a party here, and they give you like a little cold bag of food or something. Oh, driver appreciation week. No, the drivers are all out on the road making the money. The people in the office and the mechanics and all that, they're just actually an expense, you know, a good expense. We do need them, right? But the money all comes from the drivers driving the trucks. The trucks don't make the money. The freight don't make the money. Not without the driver. And it just seems like an insult. I mean, I did have the place that we're hauling for gave me some nice clothes, which they really are nice clothes too. I can't wear them on here because I'm confidentiality, can't show their brand or nothing, but that part was kind of cool, and they gave me some rich people food and stuff that I normally don't eat. But the whole appreciation from the companies, like skip the whole picnic and all that shit and just give us all like a prepaid Visa card or something, and we can go to Denny's and eat all alone, you know, and feel appreciated doing that. You know, I don't want to discourage people from leaving comments because I love that interaction in the channel and all that, whether or not it's between me or just between y'all together in the comments. I mean, sometimes I just gotta call out some silliness, you know? Read this comment right here. COVID was the end of hopping to another company. 3 companies in 10 years is the same as a wreck or a failed drug test. Yeah, I don't think so, man. Like, that's not a problem. 3 jobs in 10 years? That's actually amazing for truck drivers, dude. To hold a job that long. 3 jobs in a year? Yeah, they start looking at you a little funny, but you can always find someplace to hire you. As far as it being as bad as an accident or failing a drug test, I'm not even gonna go into that. That's not even close, man. Accidents 5 years, drug test now. I'm gonna make a video on that here. It looks like they're gonna be revoking your CDL for a failed drug test. But even as it sits with the clearinghouse, you're fucked. Y'all remember when at the fuel pumps it used to be master pump and then slave pump, right? Well, we can't have that. That ain't right. Now it's gotta be main pump It's satellite pump. Get it, right? Where'd the fucking name come from in the first place? It is kind of fucked, don't get me wrong. But goddamn, some people are sensitive. We gotta change everything. Almost seems like some people are like, man, you called me a name, you disrespected me, I'm gonna shoot you. Oh, that does happen, don't it? It does happen, huh? That's weird. I'm gonna start like a little deal myself, right? Or I think the law should get involved with it. I think it should be illegal to think about each other. Like if we're in a parking lot and you're thinking about me, it's fucking illegal. How would you like to have some pretty much useless knowledge, right? Famous people who used to drive one of these here rigs, right? Used to be truckers, right? Chevy Chase. If you're young, you probably don't know who that is, but he was pretty famous for a long time, right? Elvis Presley. Everybody knows who Elvis Presley is, right? Died on the shitter, man. What a rough way to go. Probably still better than dying in the truck, though, right? James Cameron, Liam Neeson, Sean Connery, Charles Bronson, Jason Aldean, we all know that, the Country Jams, right? Richard Pryor, just a few. I think Larry the Cable Guy used to be. Britney Spears, maybe not Britney Spears, that might not be true, but she's still hot, right? She's making a comeback. There you go, now you got some useless knowledge. And I got another thought here rambling around as I sit here and wait for a load, right? We're always waiting for a load, ain't we? Oh, we were all kind of wondering, like, why the views are down on YouTube, right? So it don't matter if you got 100 subscribers or you got 100,000 subscribers, right? You're used to getting 10,000 views or 10 views, your views are down, right? Well, it's TikTok, man. I think it's TikTok. A lot of people are over on TikTok, right? And you ever notice on TikTok that my fucking phone up there actually just bleeped, right? It just picked up what I was saying. That's fucked up. And it just turned TikTok on up there. And anyway, you ever notice how easy it is to go viral on TikTok? Fuck, not that easy on YouTube, dude. Takes forever to hit that fucking YouTube viral unless you got some real banging shit going on, you feel me? Something's a little sketchy with that. I think they're like, oh, if we make everyone go viral or pretend like they're viral, then they'll, you know, right? You know them fucking Chinese are sneaky little bastards, right? Yep, because you know it is kind of a thing. You know you can buy subscribers for YouTube. I probably said that before, but if you look at some of these people's YouTube channel, oh, let's say they'll have 50,000 subscribers, right? And then you're like, damn, they're banging it. And you go look at their videos and they're getting like 800 views or 700 views or something, 500 views on the videos. That don't match up, dude. There ain't no way you got 50,000 subscribers and you're getting 500, 600, 700 views or whatnot on your videos. It just don't match up, dude. You bought subscribers, bro. Which is cheating. Ain't that like the whole fun is to see if you can do it yourself, right? You know, it's always nice when Josh promotes you on his channel. That helps you out a little bit, but that's the thing, right? Now I gotta go do the fucking walk around the parking lot deal here in the morning, right? Yesterday it was like the trucker Golden Girls. There's other dudes out walking. And you know, on that note, I'm gonna tell you a story. Back when I was drinking real heavy after the divorce and all that shit, I was sitting on my porch drinking, and it was one of those drinking in the morning because you've been up all fucking night drinking type deals. And these old ladies, like 60, 70, 80-year-old ladies would always go walking by, you know, doing their power walk and shit all together. And I'd always be hooting and hollering at them and shit because I was drunk, right? Because you do smart shit when you're drunk, trust me. And eventually they thought I was funny. So long story short, I used to come home every weekend. I'd fucking go out there. I'd get my Yeti cup, man, have some rum and shit. I'd go walking with them, dude. It was kind of fun, really. I don't know how funny that is, but it was fucking fun, man. Y'all remember earlier when I said it was easy to go viral on TikTok and all that nonsense, right? Well, I was talking to Tammy about that whole deal, and right, she's kind of like my social media type internet helper, because, you know, I'm a little slow when it comes to that shit. And she sent me back this. Check it out. You can just buy views on TikTok. Imagine that, right? Well, being that we're on the topic of like trying to stay healthy out here on the road, which is damn near impossible, right? All this junk shoved in our face all the time, especially since they did away with all the restaurants and everything, and who's got time for that most of the time anyway, and they're expensive as fuck, right? Well, supposedly Love's is going to be introducing this new deal. It's supposed to be called like Jamba by Blended or something. It's supposed to be some robotic kiosk with healthy food in it, smoothies and fruit and all this nonsense. All right, we'll see how that goes. But Love supposedly already has healthy food in there, but the shit's too fucking expensive. $7 for a salad, $5 for a rotten fruit cup, so on and so on. You've already seen it all. It's ridiculous. You know, I don't know how they fix that, because I get it. They buy all the shit and then it spoils because nobody buys it. Maybe sell it cheaper and then people would buy more. You know, Walmart kind of does that, right? The Chinese kind of do that. Catch on, motherfuckers. And I do have to say, Love's is the best truck stop chain out there. That's for sure. The one that cares the most and does the best for the most part. But then Pilot had the PJ Fresh deal come in a while back. You know, it's better. Yeah, you can get green beans and corn and mashed potatoes, meatloaf and shit, if it's there. You know, half the time the fucked employees don't do anything with anything and it's empty, or they shut it down at 7 o'clock at night, which is really about the time most truckers are probably going to be eating, and or it's just rotten as fucking looks nasty, you know. So that didn't work out too well. But I was watching this podcast the other day, and unfortunately I can't tell you which one it was or who this person even was. I've been trying to find it to get the information, and this fella is trying to get the real deal going, and obviously having a struggle because these truck stops, which I have a video coming out on here shortly when I get it done with it, are just fucking money machines, you know. And they gotta watch all that shit, you know, the red tape and all the bullshit with all the rich people and everything. But what he's trying to do is, if you're familiar with like HelloFresh or Blue Apron or those, you know, where you can have your healthy food delivered to your house and all that nonsense, he's trying to get something similar to that put in the truck stops, but at an affordable price. There you go, man. I mean, there you fucking go already. So we'll see how that turns out, and maybe I can find that information, but it kind of seems like he's hitting a brick wall with that whole deal, because for some reason they don't want that shit in there, because they like to overcharge for everything. The broom that you paid $15 for at Walmart, it's $26 for at the truck stop, right? Because they know they got you fucked because you can't get your truck in anywhere else. That is true. And while I'm off on that note, I just want to throw this in there. This doesn't have anything to do with anything, but maybe it might help somebody out. If you are on prescription medication, or you have a family member or whatnot that's on prescription medication and the shit's expensive as fuck, right? Because that's a whole nother thing. Well, Mark Cuban, the dude from Shark Tank, right? He's a billionaire. And you guys think that I swear a lot? Go watch the podcast with Theo Vaughn and Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban can lay down some motherfucker and all that bullshit, dude. He don't even fuck around. So he was on there, and basically this is what he's doing. He's fucking the drug companies over, and he's spending his own money right now and running this company at a loss, just as, in his words, just to fuck shit up. So if you go to costplusdrugs.com, you can find a lot of prescription drugs in there at like a fraction, a really, really small fraction of the price of what you're getting that shit from the pharmacies and stuff. And anybody can do it as long as you got a prescription from a doctor. You don't, you know how when you go to the doctor, they say, what pharmacy do you want this sent to? Boom, you do it right there, man. You know, speaking of lawsuits on Freightliner and all that, what about these fucking things right here, right? How dumb of a design is this that they put in like 2019? You see this pointy ass corner right here? That's right about where your eyeball goes when you go to sit down in the fucking seat, right? You feel me? Both sides, huh? And then earlier, I hit my motherfucking head on it. So you better bet your ass I'm suing them sons of bitches. Y'all want to know some shit that I really respect? Good, because I'm fixing to tell you, right? These dudes right here, man. Triples on a single axle drive in the mountains, in the snow, bro. Fuck that, alright? I've done double trains, but fuck that. Yo, I just wanted to give a shout out to the people who have like newer YouTube channels. You're just getting your YouTube channel up and going. Stick with it. Express yourself. You know, it takes a minute for these things to get going. I know I've had, you know, mine going for like 3 years, man. You know, and I'm only at like 2,000 subscribers. So it takes a while, and there's a lot of YouTube truckers out there now, so you're not gonna get the views and shit like the old dogs, the old goats used to get. So if it's something you enjoy doing, just do it, man. I remember when I first started it, my videos were fucking lame as hell. They're still up there. You wanna go back and watch them? But you know, I got 10 views. I thought, man, that's like 10 people. And then I get like 20 views. And then I had like 200 subscribers. And the way I always put it is, when's the last time you had like 20 people or 50 people standing there actually fucking listening to what you're saying? And then how many people watch your videos but don't subscribe? We all do that, right? So just hang with it. It'll be all good.
Martha came from off the farm, ran right up, jumped in my arms. I said, you're coming home with me today. Martha, you're the sweetest girl, an angel sent down to this world. I love you more than words could ever say. Every day's a new beginning, life is just a game you're winning. Every time you look, an open door.